Hey Scrappers, it's Vanessa here with May the 4th Be With You Hop. And today what I thought I would do is I'm going to show you what I pulled for this layout, and then I'm going to kind of walk you through my thoughts of what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to kind of put it together in stages so that I do all the busy work off camera, and I'll just kind of come in at different steps within the layout so you can see the layout come together. So this is May the 4th Be With You Hop, so be sure to check the links down below for everyone who's playing along in this hop, and go and check out all the fun projects. I don't think that everybody is probably going to be doing a Star Wars theme. I am scrapbooking some Star Wars photos from Disney World, but I think it was sort of, you could do Star Wars or Star themed or any sort of play on the kind of Star Wars idea. And so, like I said, I'm going to be scrapping these two photos here that you see of my husband and my daughter, and then they're standing in front of one of the troopers that was on display. And so I'm going to scrap these two photos. So what I'm using today is all from my How to Kill a Kit with Style for the month of May. So if you've seen that video, then you already know what was in my kit. And basically I pulled a piece of green cardstock, and then I have a piece of white cardstock. So that's going to be the base of my layout. I am going to mat these two photos side by side on this black. And then what I'm going to do is, so we'll look at the pattern papers first, because this is one thing I'm obviously going to do off camera. I have the Marigold and the Garden Party 6x8, and what I've decided to do is just pull out black and white. So like this pattern here, I want black and white and a little bit of green, and then I know there's a green with gold in here, so I'm going to pull that as well. I'm not going to use that green, so I'm going to go through these really quick. So I'm going to pull this one, and then this was the green that I was thinking, because it brings in the gold, because I'm going to bring in gold. So I'm kind of sticking with black, white, green, gold. I might throw in a little bit of just a pop of blue here and there. So I think those will be the colors that I'm kind of aiming toward using on this layout. And then from the Marigold, there was a couple of pages in here. I did fussy cut a couple of these cameras already that I'm going to use on the layout. I'm going to take this one, and then this one, and was there any other one? And this one, I think. And then what I decided, you know what, I might throw in, I did say I wanted to add just a pop of blue, so I think I'm going to grab this one as well. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to use these as an entire page and like glue my two photos on, because obviously these are, once I have them matted once or twice, this is barely going to cover all the way around. So I'm basically just going to use pieces of each of these. So I might cut a couple of them like in an L and back, you know, sort of this side with one, and then another one up top. But there's going to be multiple layers in any case of all of these patterns behind my photo, and that's where all my pattern paper is going to go. So I do know for a fact that that's what I'm going to do with all of these patterns that I showed you, that I pulled from those two 6x8. So that is step one for sure. And then here is everything else that I pulled from my kit to use on this layout. This was not in my kit, but it's something I had in my stash, so I pulled it. I don't know that I'm going to use it, but we will see. As well as I have this Star Wars flare that was in my stash that I don't know if I'll use it, but I did pull it. Now, I pulled the clear stickers from the Sunny Days, which was in my kit, so I do plan to try to use some of these. I have these rub-ons, which we'll talk about those in just a sec. I have these little post-it kind of banners, so I'm going to try to get some of those used up. And then I also have just some bits and pieces that I pulled. This is some of that ticket washi that I put on white cardstock and cut it out. Those are the cameras that I fussy cut, and then I just have a few pieces of ephemera. Again, was picking mostly toward the green. I might go back and pull in a little bit of blue, but for right now, this is what I'm going to use. I'm not looking to use a whole bunch of ephemera, so this might be all I end up using. And then I already know as well what my title is, which I spelled out one of the words. So I spelled out the word trooper. And then off camera, and let me just pull them, I stamped and then cut out the rest of my title, which is going to be first order. And so I will show you really quick. I used the Stamp Market, their larger sized alpha stamp, and then this is what cuts all of the stamped letters out, and so I just went ahead and cut those. I used some green ink. I believe this was from Concord and 9th. I think it's their green. I forget the color. If you want to know what it is, just leave me a comment down below. I'll be sure to let you know. So that's my title, so I have that all ready to go once I get to that point. And then the only other thing that I know I'm going to do or pull out is I am going to use some of my Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine, because I'm going to do some splatters on my white cardstock. So now here's what I'm thinking for all of these rub-ons, which I did test one off camera and they are rubbing off pretty well. So I think I will be able to get them to work, I hope. But what I'm going to do is I plan to take not all of the black, white, and green, but I plan to take a number of them, a good number of them, and what I'm thinking about is making this a sort of centered vertical kind of layout. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a whole bunch of rub-ons that go all the way down the page, keeping in mind that my photo, so I'm probably going to mat my photo first, and then so I can see how big it is, and I'm thinking my photo is going to go down toward the bottom, and then my title is going to go across the top here with Trooper, wherever my alpha, there it is, wherever that went is going to go down here, and I think first order is going to go across the top. I think something like this is what I'm thinking. And then what I would like to do is possibly take this here, since it's kind of long anyway, and put that be my bottom. So I would take that and put that down here. And then grab some scissors, and I'll give you an idea of what I'm thinking. And these are obviously going to be rubbed on, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to cut these out. Bear with me. And I think that's one in of itself, so I can cut that off. Maybe put that one over here. Put something like that over here. Maybe I'll use this heart. This heart. I like to layer up my rub-ons as well, so once I put those down, I'm thinking maybe I put that there. And then, sorry about the noise. Let's see, I said I was going to have that one down here, so we can definitely cut that off. And then there's quite a few of them, so I'm not going to lay them all out for you. I just want you to get an idea, because when I come back, my goal is to have my photos all matted, and then these rub-ons down, and I'm going to add, once the rub-ons are down, I'm going to add some gold splatters. Again, I'm thinking of this being a, centered vertical layout. So we'll see how that works. And then from here I'm going to use probably details, and then I have photos. So I'm going to try to use a good bit of these up, since I know that they're still working, and this is a perfect way to get some of these used up so they're not just sitting in my stash anymore. And I'm hoping that the one I tested worked perfectly. So I am keeping my fingers crossed that the rest of these are going to, end up rubbing on just as well. So I'm thinking maybe something like that. So this is the general idea. Keep in mind this is going to be matted. So I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to do what I've talked about so far, and then we're going to come back and see where we can stick in some embellishment and what else we can do. We're going to obviously add our title, and so I'm going to stop and then we'll be right back. Okay guys, we are back, and I have gotten all of the rub-ons. You can see that a lot of them did not actually end up working. So we're going to have some embellishments that's obviously going to cover some of this. But I have my photo down and the rest of the rub-ons, and then I added the gold splatters. So now we have our layout to this point, and let's work on adding some things that are not rub-ons. And we'll start with the title, since I know where the title is going to go. And so, just give me one sec here. Okay, so we know that the title is going to go across the top here, and then I want to put this down here at the bottom. So let's get that on first so that we know. I'm thinking I'm going to lay it up here, and then that way we know our title is ready. Or in place, I guess I should say. So the title is going to go across here. Like so. So first order trooper. Now, here is what I was thinking. I know I want to use some of these. I really was thinking, I know I want to use them at some point as a banner on a layout, but with the stamping and everything, or the rub-ons and things that I decided to do, I am just actually going to use them and just place them underneath, which could be hard since I'm doing it after the fact and my layout is already glued down. But I'm going to have them just peek out underneath here and maybe be slightly longer than my ribbon. So I'm getting them on the page, but just a little bit. And I'm just going to use these black and white ones because, again, I'm going with that theme. I might pull out that one as well. So let's grab one of these, add a little glue, excuse my fingers getting in the way of the camera. And there we go. That's a little too high on this side. So maybe. I know it's not perfect anyway. The ribbon itself isn't on exactly perfectly, but we're going to call that good. And then I think we're just going to put these green ones maybe up here, right here. Let's do them up there. Maybe it's hard to get a extra one. There we go. And then I will glue that down off camera in just a little bit. So that's what we're going to do with the banners. So I got those on. Next up we have the embellishments that we pulled. So let's get those laid out, and I will glue those down off camera. I decided that the flare kind of looks really good there, so I'm going to add that with one of these tickets and a camera. So then I have my rub-ons, and then I layered it up with some washi on white cardstock, a flare, and a camera. This one here, I am going to use the same elements, a camera, that washi. I'm also thinking I might actually bring in this and just do a complete sort of cover up for everything that did not rub on correctly on this one. And you just kind of get those as act as more of like a background on the page than anything. So I kind of like that. And then down here at the bottom, we're going to do the same thing. And I actually think we're going to, I'm debating where I want to put it. Do I want to put it like here to kind of extend this whole thing, or do I put it over here and just keep a smaller cluster over here? Let's see. Yeah, I kind of like that, I think. So now I have my 3 embellishment clusters, so I get that visual triangle happening on my page. And I think what I'm going to do is, that's going to be there. Next question is, do I want to add any of these? Do I want to add any of these little words? Maybe I could add one in there. Because I have words down here. It says it's the little things, and then this says love this. Kind of would be good if I had one over here. So let's do remember this. It does have a green background, so I kind of like that. It keeps with my colors. And oops, I know these aren't glued down yet, so this will lock me into putting this just like this. So I think what I'm going to do is make this glue or stuck to this label, and then that way when I go back and build this up, I have that right on there. So now I have remember this. There we go. It's all glued or it's stuck down, and then I'll just adhere the rest of these embellishments. And then I'm not going to end up using this. And let's see, was there anything else from this that we wanted to use? I have cameras already, so I'm not really thinking. I'm pretty happy with everything the way it is right now, so I'm not really sure I'm going to add any other stickers from this, so I think we're going to call that one good. What I'm going to do is glue all this down, and I'm just going to come back with the enamel dots, and we will call this one done. Okay, we have glued everything down. Here are what the clusters look like. My photo is popped up on Fun Foam. It's hard to see, but there is lift and dimension to that. My title is down. Finishing touches for this one, I am just going to use this whole row of little dots from Jen Hatfield. They're actually puffy dots, not enamel dots, so I decided to go ahead and use these. So I'm thinking I want to put one on each of the cameras, just for something fun. And then I have 2 left over, so we're gonna put one randomly here, and where do I want to put the other one? Randomly up here. We're gonna call that good. Just a little bit of extra interest with some other texture. I'm actually going to move that to somewhere else. Do I want to put it down here? I just didn't like that these were almost like lined up beside each other. I like them to at least be on a diagonal. I could have put it over there. If I had one extra, but I don't. If I had one extra, I would probably put one here. But we are going to call that good. Here is our completed layout. I will have still photos coming up at the end. Please remember to check the links for everyone who is playing along. And hopefully you liked this process a little bit instead of me doing a voiceover, kind of just walking through and then doing the busy work off camera and showing you step by step. So you can let me know in the comments what you think of that. And with that, guys, I will catch you on the next video. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.